creative as you can be or want to be, you still have to realize that you're working with a team, you're working with a group. And that's good. And a lot of people find it very stimulating working under those conditions. I have always felt that I got to try, and that's why I've always loved comic books or comic strips. I'm able to, whatever I turn out, whatever I do, is really a reflection of me, of what I'm thinking, of what I feel I'd like to do. And blame me or say it's okay, but it's all me. It's always okay. And as a matter of fact, my experience at the school was the direct push that I needed to get the animation started here in this school. I felt it was that viable and that exciting that those people who feel they would like to get into animation should have an opportunity to do so. We instituted that by having the first year. The reason we had it set up this way is because a lot of people who think that they'd like to go into animation feel that because animation is done so simple, you don't have to really know how to draw so well to be an animator. Nothing could be further from the truth. Best artists I know are animators. So we designed it so that the first year gave a general education so that a person could really then clearly make up their minds as to whether they want to go into animation or continue on cartoon illustration. That's where it's at.
Right now, you're very involved with more of an European market. Would you tell us, like, what's the difference you see between America, European market, Japanese comics?
That's a damn good question. That's one that everybody should be interested in. There's a vast difference between European publications and domestic American publications, and Japanese publications, and the South American publications, and the Mexican publications. In fact, the best-selling books in Europe sell extremely poorly here in the United States. The best-selling books here in the United States sell extremely poorly in Europe. There are two different kinds of reading publics. It's hard. I mean, it would be really tough to try to detail the differences now. One of the main differences is that the heaviest selling genre here in the United States now, despite the graphic novels and all that other stuff that's being done to some extent, is the superhero. Superhero genre, and it's lasted longer than any other genre that I can remember. I know time we've gone through westerns, we've gone through jungle stuff, we've gone through mystery stuff, space stuff, and then after a year or two, we'd go on to another stuff. It's the first time I can remember that a genre has lasted and is continuing to last as long as the superhero stuff has. My own personal feeling about that is that this stuff has fallen, has come out of the time when collecting became a really important aspect, not only of comic books, but of life in general. Collecting all kinds of stuff, all kinds of memorabilia has become more and more important. And a lot of guys who read comic books, who buy comic books in the United States, don't read them. X-Men that sold, I don't know how many millions, were sold in box loads to people, hundreds of boxes. I mean, hundreds in a box to people who never even opened the goddamn thing, just said, this is going to be real valuable in about 10 years, and put them away and left them just the way they were. And that applies a great deal to the reading public here in the United States, so that it's more of a collecting kind of a situation than it is reading. And that's a new innovation. That was never so when I was really heavy into comics. I used to love to read comics. I can't get into it. I tried a couple of times to make out the sense of the story that I'm going to get an old crotchet. I know, because I cannot get what the hell the story is supposed to be about. Also, when I come across a John Burns story where the first 6 pages are all white because it happened in a snowstorm, or if I get into another story that Liefeld did, where the first half a dozen or 8 pages is all figures jumping around, so it's like more like a pseudo-anatomy lesson than it is. I just don't appreciate that stuff. I can't get into it. A lot of people do. They're very, very successful. Hi, Michael. But that's the American reading public. In Europe, it's quite the opposite. In Europe, they read the stuff. If the stuff doesn't read well, it's not drawn properly, it's not a good story, they're not interested in it. They're not saving the stuff. They're not putting it away to see if it will increase in value. Other big plus with the European market, and one of the reasons that I went into it, is that the publication never gets stale. Here in the United States, when you have a comic book, there's a date on it. When it passes that date, it's pulled off the shelf. You know, they either hold on to it, maybe resell it later on. It's stuck away. It just disappears. One way or another, it just disappears. In Europe, when you have a collection of books, like 4 or 5 of the series, that collection is always on the stand. It never gets stale. Because if you've done a new one, say a 5th one of a 5-issue series, a person comes in and buys that 5th one, which is the most recent one, and they like it. They want to read the first 4 as well. They're not continuous stories. It's a continuous character with different stories, so that those things are always on sale in the European market, which makes a hell of a lot more sense to me than what's happening here in the United States. The other thing, of course, is that when you're selling a book here in the United States, you're selling it all through the United States. It's written all in one language. When you're selling in Europe, you sell to Italy, France, Spain, Germany, England, Norway, Sweden, Denmark, Russia, so on and so forth. In every one of those countries, you get a publisher who's publishing your book. He pays you the same fee as a first guy in every country in which it's published, so that you have an accumulation. Eventually, if it's successful, you have an accumulation of having been paid for the work 7, 8, 10 times for that same publication. That publication, then, if it sells next year, is another payment. Rich, that was his name, painted, he built a lot of stuff overseas. Beautiful painting, muscle paintings. Rich Corley was able to generate an income for a whole year of better than $60,000 based on stuff that he did 5 years ago. So there's a steady income coming from that all the time. In South America, as you know, Sergio, or in Japan as well, they don't publish books once a month. They're probably coming up to a point where they're come out with ones every day, come out every week with new publications. We just started this in the United States with some books that are coming out on a bi-weekly basis. But they eat up that stuff like crazy. In Japan, the successful cartoonists are really successful. So the markets are different, which means for all you guys that what you're studying for is not just limited to one place, one area, or one kind of work. The subject matter is as varied as you can think of. It is all saleable. As long as what you're doing is honest and based on good, solid foundations, I don't care what your style is, I don't care whether it's humor, or adventure, or horror, or heavy blacks, or what kind of an application you have to your drawing. If your stuff comes out where it's legible, where it's exciting, or where it's funny, or it connects with a person who's reading the material, there is a place for you in this profession. And that's got to be as exciting as hell.
South American comics seem very similar to European. How does Mexico differ? What style is it?
I think that well, first of all, the publications that I've seen in Mexico are done very, very well. It's a poor country. The reproduction and printing that's done down here is very, very poor quality. Also, Mexico has a very low reading rate, and so that most of the stuff, I mean, you'll go any place in Mexico City, on every corner you'll see kids and adults reading comic books because it is the cheapest way and the easiest way of reading. The percentage of people who are doing reading is very, very low. guys who are really outstanding in Europe, doing movies, everywhere, sells very poorly in the United States in comparison to Europe. A guy like a guy from Herman, was an outstanding artist, one of the most successful in Europe. Or a guy like Pratt, whose name is known by everybody in Europe, sells very, very poorly here in the United States. Doesn't sell at all. And the reason he's not here is not because he doesn't want to be published. The stuff just does not sell. They're trying to take that kind of publication, quality publication, hopefully using the same kind of material that they're doing in regular comic books here in the United States, figuring in that way that will bring up the quality and therefore more acceptability by the reading public. It's been an uphill climb. It's been really tough. Because the graphic novels done here in the United States, because of the subject matter, does not sell in Europe. I asked the guys that I'm working with in Europe, and they keep telling me, we can look at some of the jobs that are done in the United States and tell immediately if it's going to be accepted by the European reading public or not, just from the physical look of it. I said, what does that? He said, some of the things, for instance, you pick up a Marvel Comics and double-page spread with a big head in the middle. That would never be seen in the European comics. Good reason for it. Why? In Europe, when they put out a graphic novel, first they will sell it to magazines in the form of 8 to 10-page segments. Run that for a full year, and afterwards put it out in a full hardbound edition. If you take and you sell those segments, sometimes 2 pages, and newspapers as well, 2-page segments, 5-page segments. So you have to have some reading capacity in those pages. If you take a double-page spread, 4 or 5 pages that just has a head or nothing happening, there's nothing to read. So that's unacceptable. And even from a physical look, there are differences. But more than that, the stories, I think, are really well thought out. The stories are really well thought out.
Do you think that this is demanded by the fans? All of the stories and everything. Nobody tries to change because of the fans in here in the United States.
Well, I think that the artists and the public would change if the people who were buying the books showed that they had a preference towards that. But Julie is a nice guy, very, very